I remember what number it was. Cool. Alright, hello, everyone, internet. Yeah, this is the 7th episode of That'll Do with me, your host, Brystin Ivey. And yeah, I got some great guests with me today, coming live from Tamiera's black leather couch. It's not what you think. It's exactly what you think.
Somebody had to say it. And it was the host.
Well, now that it's out in the open, I think it's okay. We can, you know, it's fine. People know now.
Just reframe the entire episode to let them know just we're on a leather couch.
Oh yeah, in an empty room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Empty apartment.
These are the audition tapes for the...
My career starts here.
Oh man, that lovely Johnny Cash-esque voice is one of my guests, Hunter Black.
Hi.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I'm here.
Hi was good. Was that scripted or was that improv?
No, that was off the cuff.
Holy shit. You might have a future in this yet.
Maybe.
Look at you go.
Maybe.
And my other guest, Tamiera.
Hello.
Is it
Vandegrift.
Vandegrift, that's right.
Yes.
I always thought you had a really cool last name.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's German.
Ooh. Okay. Is it like full German or?
What?
What? What do you mean? Is it full German?
Well, because mine's like
it's one word.
Mine's like full Irish.
Okay.
Like Ivy. Like that's
yeah.
like straight from the
I
pub,
mean,
like...
the majority of my family is German, so I'm going to guess that in fact it is fully German. Just gonna take a shot in the dark.
We'll just assume, and
Yeah.
if we have any German listeners right now, then we're gonna look like real assholes.
That's okay.
I mean you.
I've been checking the things.
Especially me.
Especially.
I'll get a phone call right after this goes live.
Excuse me. I have something to say to you.
I got like Swiss towards the end.
They're all the same.
And incoming more angry phone calls.
Oh man, you're trying to get me banned.
Yes. Yes.
Only your 7th episode. You're
I know,
gone for
right?
good.
I'm young. I'm just diving in head first. And Hunter like Roseanne's my podcast.
Oh.
Now we can't fucking make it anymore.
Oh my god. I'm on Ambien, guys, okay?
Is that really what she said?
Yes.
Ambient
Oh god,
racist.
No.
Mhm.
I was like such a big fan of them bringing it back too. Like I was so excited.
You know what? Yeah, that's the thing. You know what my mom and what my great aunt Molly do when they're on Ambien? They buy shit. They go on eBay and they just buy stuff. I'm pretty sure, because my mom's not on Ambien anymore, but I'm pretty sure that when she was, that's how I got my Game Boy SD. Because I don't remember really asking for it. I remember it just showing up, her being like, here you go.
Oh my god, dude. I had to like beg my parents to buy me things. It's amazing I'm here.
Yeah, I'm spoiled shit.
Like the worst part about that is she got so many people fired. Like imagine just being on like some Hollywood stars crew. I guess Hollywood stars kind of pushing it. But like famous enough celebrity. You know? And then like you just get your entire crew fired.
I mean, I'm pretty sure she owns the rights, so if she, decide to sell the rights or something, they could continue the show or just rebrand it or something.
Yeah. They can't make it without racist Roseanne though.
They could kill her off.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And just do it about like the side characters, like the guy from the Big Bang Theory and John Goodman, like them mourning Roseanne's death because of her Ambien related social media garbage.
I want to see something insane, like John Goodman just comes in with like a shotgun or something and just like ends her.
He needs to like 10 Cloverfield Lane it and like
Yes.
put in like a tub of acid and like it's like an anime fight, so it lasts like the whole episode.
I would watch that
Previously on
episode.
Roseanne.
I haven't watched this show but I would watch that episode.
Oh my god, I think a lot of viewers would pay more
I would
attention
tune in
to
for that.
Roseanne.
I would tune in for that one.
Speaking of like crews and jobs and stuff, Hunter.
Oh.
You work in like a cool adult place, like
Yeah, I work in a sex shop.
yeah, that's cool. Tell us about that.
Okay, so I wear gloves to work every day because
You don't have to.
I don't have
yeah,
to.
No, it's kind of just what
It's
you
just
go through.
polite. Like it's
not policy.
It's not policy. It's just polite. There's some
Yeah.
people that get a little offended. They're like, I have a latex allergy. I'm like,
Well, that's why you wear a goat skin glove.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why goat skin though?
Isn't goat skin like the condom you wear?
I thought it was
it's
leather.
sheep intestine.
There's no way they market it like sheep intestine.
It's not sheep intestine. It's like, humane animal product or something like that. But it's goat or sheep intestine. That's how condoms started out.
Wasn't there like a lamb one? Is it lamb intestine? Something like lamb
that.
skin. I thought you
Yeah.
could get away with not fucking like an intestine.
I think the Welsh came up with it.
You know what they used to do in Egypt? They used to do this thing.
Oh,
Since we're on this subject,
the grin on your face.
You're so excited to tell us about
just
this.
so,
Because I've
you
been-
guys want to hear something? I'll go. Please, I need it.
okay, I learned about this in like either my religions class or like I don't know something crazy, but yeah, like they would literally like skin an animal and use that as a condom, like fur and all. Like that would be the condom. They would just wrap it up in that.
It's fur. It's ribbed for fur pleasure.
Oh.
No? Not feeling the
God.
test.
Yeah,
All right.
I guess that works. You could be
That's-
their advertising person back then.
Just like a squirrel. Like a whole squirrel.
Basically.
Ooh, that's
A
terrible.
whole squirrel.
But just to clear it up, I don't unfortunately work in a sex shop. I actually
You were lying this
yeah.
whole time. Oh,
Yes.
You had us all going.
I sprinkle in
It's gone.
sprinkle in truth with the lies, so I'm always keeping you on your feet. But the truth this time, wink wink, is I am a commercial producer. I make commercials
Ooh.
yeah.
Where do you make commercials?
at WCTV, which also doubles as the local Tallahassee and Southern Georgia CBS station.
Well, is that like the full title? Like
It's
when
just-
the title card pops up, it has like that whole little spiel on it.
I guess. I don't know. I don't get a title card because I just live in a hole basically, and they say go film stuff, and I have to leave my hole.
They like open the gate, like you crawl out,
Mhm.
they give you water, and you go film, and let you
Yeah.
back in.
Come on, let's go. We gotta go to Georgia today.
That's like the same welcome back to Roseanne voice.
yeah,
You're just narrating lives now. How'd you get that job?
Yeah, how did you get that job, Hunter? Full story. How did you get that
Full
job?
disclosure.
So my buddy Tamiera and I took a class called Television Interviewing and Hosting at FSU, and it was in her second to last semester, right? And
Right.
my final semester, and it was taught by Ben Kaplan, who's actually one of the evening news anchors at WCTV, and so graduation was coming around and people kept asking me, what are you doing after graduation? And so, I was like freaking out and stuff. And then my friend Rhea told me about the position open at WCTV for a newstime editor. So I went to Ben and I was like, I need this job. Can you put in a good word for me? And he's like, yeah, sure, totally. So I got the job. I did that part-time for 4 months, and then the commercial producer job at Creative Services opened up, and I was like, I hate news so much, so goddamn much. I need to get out. I need to get back in the field and actually filming stuff. And so here I am.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where did Tamiera play in that? You guys just had the class together, like you were just there?
We kept each other sane.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. I've heard like interesting things about that class.
I do
Low
not.
hum.
I do not know if I am allowed to say stuff on air about that class.
Considering who got you a job.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'll keep my opinions to myself.
Have you taken it?
No, but I've heard like a lot of people have told me not to take it, or if I do take it, like just be ready. Because it's a lot.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, I don't want it to sound bad, but being production people, we like push ourselves to make the best thing possible, and looking at what most people made in that class is like, I understand the bar is really low and I don't have to try very hard. That sounds really shitty, but it's like most of the people in that class don't know production and stuff, which isn't their fault because that's not their interest.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
So, yeah. And being a production person, it's like, if you even know halfway what you're doing, your stuff's going to look a lot better than most stuff in that class. And that's not like saying, oh, everybody's looks like garbage. It's they don't know any better.
No, yeah. Well,
But we're still better than them.
That's what happens in those types of classes, because you get like the different types of people going for different types of like media and stuff. You didn't have to say it looks bad, Hunter. You could have said maybe, it was good for, like,
Well,
someone
to be
that wasn't
fair, I think I can speak a little bit more than Hunter can.
new. Yeah, go for it.
I think I could talk more volume-wise than you. But anyway,
He's got the low tone.
I just want to say, I just did the biggest eye roll. I can't convey that in an audio sense, but I almost went blind from how far back in my head my eyes just went. Anyway.
They went like a full circle. Like, they went up and then just kept going. And, like,
yeah,
over
basically.
here.
That's
A
like
nice
my
little-
general reaction to Hunter Black always. But anyway.
It's a nice little party
everybody
trick.
I know. Anyway.
So I would say the main issue with that course was that we were given really crummy equipment. Like, the quality of the equipment was just crummy. Like, even if you wanted to make something awesome, the cameras just made everything look like garbage.
Oh, no.
And it was a weird setup, too. So it was like, when you were checking out equipment for your projects, we would have 3 feature projects that we'd have to do in a semester.
Yeah.
And when you're doing your projects, it's like, when you're checking out equipment, you don't use it yourself. You're splitting it with another person. So it's like you're dividing up the equipment in shifts. Like, oh, hey, I need it on this day. I need it on that day. So when you have a person who's basically, I don't know, kind of hogging the equipment a little bit, or if you have a person who hasn't been able to use it very much, it's like...
Yeah.
I ended up using equipment from Stroger Library, which I recommend because they somehow have better camera equipment. They have a shotgun mic now.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
'Cause I knew
they have a shotgun mic now,
They
so...
have like a T3i, right? And they have some kind of Nikon, don't they?
Yes, they have like a couple DSLRs.
Okay,
Yeah.
And now they have a shotgun.
Yeah. Tamiera's right. I totally forgot about that just because I already had my own camera and my own tripod, and so I just used that, and I was shooting on a T5i, so completely forgot the equipment that everybody else had to use was total trash.
That's probably the main reason why everything looks so crummy. Like,
It's just
I
shitty
feel
equipment.
like if...
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if people were given access to better things, that they could have been able to produce better stuff. Like, I remember even one instance in class when we were reviewing each other's projects, one of the girls, like, spoke up and she was like, what did you guys use, like, to make your stuff look so good? I used the camera and I just couldn't make it look like that. What the heck?
I used the camera, I don't know.
And I'm like, don't use the camera. Don't use the camera.
Don't use what they give you.
Don't use what they give you.
Don't take handouts. Just,
Oh, God.
Go for your own.
Exactly.
And the audio is like always so bad on those cameras. Like, not because people don't know how to do audio, but just because the cameras were that bad at recording audio, and the lav mics were like they weren't good.
Yeah.
Ugh. And they kept telling us, like, these aren't cheap cameras, these are $500 cameras, and I was just like,
Where?
I was just like, I don't believe you, because the camera I was using was a $500 camera, and it was not that.
Yeah. What did they give you guys?
I have no idea.
Like,
I never used it.
Those little Sony Handycams with the SD cards. Those are like
Gross.
$200. They are not.
Oh, the little
$500.
Oh no.
In the year 2018, no. Maybe in like 2008 or 9.
We've been lied to.
Yeah, a decade of shade being thrown by
Oh
Zach
my
Hunter.
God.
Zach Hunter's here, everybody.
Hey.
Just so everyone knows.
I'm not allowed to talk because I was on the last podcast, but I thought I'd just throw in my 2 cents. Right?
Yeah, no. He chimes in when we need him, and I think that's my favorite quality about Zach Hunter. He's not afraid to just give it to you.
The voice of reason.
Speaking of giving it to you.
Oh, God.
So, no. Terrible transition, great point.
Great transition.
The leather couch in the apartment.
Oh, yeah, and you keep hearing
Yeah,
it creak
you
every
keep
once in a
hearing the
while.
call.
We keep the suspense going up.
I am shivering with anticipation after that transition.
So, you kind of had that job opportunity, like, right after graduation.
Oh, yeah, I got very lucky.
Yeah, so Tamiera, since you just graduated, has that been your experience?
No.
I didn't
Not
want to ask
really.
it, but I had to ask you.
I mean, I haven't been entirely lucky, but I haven't been entirely unlucky either. I'm mainly focusing on a bunch of freelance writing stuff. So it's like I'm using my degree and I'm okay. Like, I'm not dying. But
Yeah. You're in a nice apartment. It's a
exactly.
Nice, you have a snail. This is a cool little
I have
spot.
2 snails.
2 snails. I
Yeah.
always forget one of them. I always
Yeah.
feel horrible afterwards.
Don't
Yeah.
forget her, she's a slut.
Don't touch me, Snail. he's wearing goat intestines.
That was
Goat,
like
goat.
a threatening pat.
Go
That's
back
what
to
that
your
was.
room, Snail Harlot.
Just slowly.
Can that be the
slowly
tagline
crawl
of this podcast?
Or-
Go back to your room, Snail Harlot.
It's done. We're making t-shirts.
Can
we're
that be
getting
the
on,
name of the
oh,
episode?
God. Oh yeah, we'll get magnets.
Yes! Oh my god, I would buy them. I would buy the t-shirts. But anyway, so
And you double majored, right?
yes, I was a
Right.
double major. I was in editing, writing, media, and digital media production.
Yeah, and you're using, like you said, you're using at least one of your majors, right?
I'm
now.
probably using more editing, writing, media just because I feel like writing's just kind of secondhand nature to me.
I feel
I've been
that,
writing
yeah.
kind of my whole life. I've written for the school newspaper since I was a freshman in high school. It's just something I've always kind of done.
Yeah, and you found like pretty great reception, right? Like I feel like your
Yes!
articles
Holy
get up
cow!
there,
Yes, I've had some awesome success with my articles. It's been really cool.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some cool stuff, but I'm drawing a blank, which is really bad because it makes me sound like I'm bluffing, but I know I've done cool stuff with my
Oh,
articles.
I've read a few of them, and you articulate very well.
Thank
Yeah.
you!
And I've
Oh
seen
my
the
God.
Facebook posts where your articles are like up there, and you
Mhm.
tell everybody, and I'm like, hey, she
You
did a
did-
thing.
You did the Cap City article, which they
I
have
did.
framed on their wall.
Yes, I
Oh,
wrote
it's
an article
framed?
for
That's
Cap
awesome.
City Video Lounge,
Yeah.
and they put it on the wall by the back counter, and I like wept the first time I saw it because I was like,
I would cry too. That's
Oh
so
my
great.
gosh.
Yeah.
my heart and soul.
By the way, shameless plug, if you reside in Tallahassee, totally go to Cap City Video Lounge. It's the only video rental store here in Tallahassee. This is not sponsored.
I don't think we're allowed to do that. Are we allowed to do that?
We just are now.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
Hoping not a lot,
Yeah.
because
Other,
We can talk
otherwise,
about it.
otherwise,
They
just
can't
bleep it out.
Yeah.
Just
It'd be
one long
clip.
clip. Mhm. And
Just
then everybody's just
static
like,
for like
everyone's
10
just like,
seconds.
what was that? It's like, don't worry.
It's just
move
me
on.
impersonating Hunter, saying something completely different. It's so obvious. It's not
David
even-
Lynch.
Wait, Hunter, you like David Lynch?
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude.
I love David Lynch.
I don't know, he's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's why I love David Lynch.
But no, that's I'm trying to get back on point.
All I can see is David Lynch with those panties in his mouth.
What?
I mean,
One of you sent me the when he says like God is gay. And I'm like, can you elaborate on that? And he's like, no.
Yes! I love it so much. I can hear it in his voice. God is gay. Elaborate. No.
No. Next question.
Ugh.
But I can't even fucking get it back on.
Let's just all transcendentally meditate. It'll be fun.
Well, the next 45 minutes will be complete silence.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just
Everyone-
play some monks chanting.
I was thinking
For the
smooth
next
jazz, but I
45
like
minutes.
monks chanting too.
I'll give you this track. It's like these Mongolian monks, and they're just like, it's really like.
I hope it's just like that.
It is. It's actually a little bit scary, man. It's actually a little bit scary. But you know what? If they're attaining peace, then good for them.
It can be
Yeah.
that Mongolian throat chanting that we use in our short film.
Oh my god, yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, holy
I remember
shit,
that.
yeah.
That was
Weren't
my
you
film
like the-
debut.
Yeah.
That was my musical entrance.
That was like my big dick film
What?
preview too, or
Big dick?
oh, that's maybe
Oh,
it's
yeah.
yeah, because I was in it too.
Yeah,
you
you were.
were.
Oh no, you saw Jorge first, but you saw me looking confused in a kitchen window.
Yes.
That was pretty great.
The grand cameo.
In order of appearance, just Bryce and I right second. Right under Jorge.
You just put the blocking like as the credits.
Mhm.
Draw a little arrow where I walk.
We did that intentionally, Jorge on top of Brystin.
Well, that's usually how it is. So
Mhm.
let's not mix things up. We were okay. Well, like, is it 2 years ago or a year ago we made that?
That's a good
2
idea.
years ago.
That was my
It
first.
will be 2 years ago this fall.
This,
Yes.
Yeah, so almost
Yes.
2 years ago, myself and Jorge Reed we started one of Hunter's and Tamiera's little shorts.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a great time.
Woo.
What was that called again?
It takes a village.
It Takes a Village. You guys should look it up.
Mhm.
Hunter Black Media at hunterblackmedia.com.
Thanks.
It's not your
That's not at all what it is, but hey, some Hunter Black Media person's about to get a lot of traffic.
Oh, Oh, dude, I like sending things that guy's way.
Mm-hmm.
We're not the first time we've talked about Hunter Black Media here.
Mm-hmm. There's just some guy sitting there, like, in a server room basement, just like, hey, people are looking at my videos again.
People like my MS Paint drawings. It's really cool. Thank you.
People like my Sonic comics.
Why was it Kermit?
I don't
was
know.
Kermit going
It was-
fast?
it was the-
What the fuck happened?
Gotta go fast.
Since you guys have graduated, have you thought about doing like more shorts like that?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys started anything?
So, actually, me, Zach, my friend Andrea, and Hunter, I think I talked about this to you as well.
Is this the cult thing?
No, that's another thing.
Okay.
Let's just not expand on that.
Yep.
Just leave it.
Cult thing.
The cult thing.
Leave yourself to dwell on that thought.
Mm-hmm.
But as you're saying,
Taking volunteers.
Well, there is this, taking volunteers and applications. Anyway, there was this horror movie screenplay I wrote, like, probably a year ago. And I know Zach and I were talking about filming it one summer. Maybe this summer if we have time. That would be amazing. So.
that's cool, yeah. Because I know, like, I am still a year away from graduating. And just the thought, like...
You're still a baby.
I know, I'm still a wee babe.
You're still a baby.
I know, it's great. I'm gonna milk it, unintended, as long as I possibly can.
No, not that
Just
gesture.
grab.
That was, you guys should see what Hunter's doing to this poor...
Invisible
Nipple.
nipple.
This poor hypothetical udder. Just grab it.
But, like, that's the bulk
Need a
of my...
refill? Thank goodness no one could see that.
That noise is horrible.
The noise was worse.
Yeah, like people are just gonna hear the noise and not even see the gesture.
Mhm.
And it's
That's
gonna
what
be
makes
worse
it
for
more
them.
horrifying
Yeah.
because it's their imagination filling the gaps.
Is that your
Exactly.
horror script? Just Hunter doing that for 2 minutes?
No,
just
but
saying
it might as
directly,
well be.
Milk the udder. Milk the udder. It's just I'm the antagonist terrorizing these like kids in an abandoned farm thing, and I just have like a milk pail, and I'm just trying to milk them.
No.
That's a good idea. We need to write that down.
Yeah, like Jeepers Creepers 4, Hunter Black.
Except less pedophilia.
Yes, surprisingly, because it doesn't come with.
I know.
You don't know that based off the information Hunter just gave you. But yeah, like the bulk of my stuff right now, and Zach's included in a lot, or at least going to be included in a lot of it, is like shorts.
Mm-hmm.
And like after graduation, I have no idea how I would like monetize that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely something I want to keep doing.
Festivals.
Like I want to find festivals.
It's more like you can't really monetize shorts until you like already have an in with like some sort of company or something. But it's more just keep paying and bidding in and seeing like hopefully if it pays off and stuff. Like you make shorts, send them to festivals, pay festivals money and stuff. Although they do award cash prizes at festivals.
That's
like
what I've heard. Yeah.
So you could totally make money off of that and stuff, but yeah, shorts.
I just want to be clear. I'm not just doing it for the money. Because this is not a major you get into for the money.
No, it's not.
Not at all.
It's not.
Like it's what I love doing. And if I could find a way to like also support myself with it, I think that'd be really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, the job you have that you started out with was news, and you don't like news.
No, I don't. It's worse because I was a part-time news editor for the 10 p.m. and the 11 p.m. show, and I was working at the AMC movie theater part-time too.
That's right.
Yes, so I had 2 jobs for 4 months, and 5 nights a week I would work from 6:30 to 11:30 at news, and then I would have to work weekends at the movie theater as well as weekdays. So I'd open at the there were like it was not uncommon for me to like 4 days a week open at the movie theater and then go home for maybe 30 minutes and then go straight to my other job and wind up having like a 13-hour workday. So yeah.
Were you just a masochist, or did you need that to kind of like?
Oh, I was surviving.
You needed to survive.
I needed to do that to survive, and it wasn't until like a couple weeks into my current job where I like started telling myself, all right, you're not in survival mode anymore. It's all right to spend money on things that you like because you can afford stuff now within reason.
Yeah, you can splurge a tiny little bit.
But yeah, I feel like it's a fact of life in modern age, unfortunately, working jobs that suck, that are just stepping stones, that are only temporary and stuff. Like, apparently I've worked a lot more jobs than most people my age. I've had like 6 or 7 jobs or something like that. I've worked at like...
That's way more than I've had.
I've worked at like McDonald's and Walmart. I was a server at Chili's and everything.
Well, that's because you didn't have standards.
Very true. Did not respect myself for a long time.
I refused to work in culinary. Like, fuck that.
I never worked in culinary. I gave people their food.
Bitch,
They
you worked
treated
It's
me
the
like
same thing.
Oh my god. Oh, we were host.
Yeah. No,
He
actually,
was a waiter.
host. Yeah, I was a server actually.
Isn't that worse than waiter?
I mean,
I think waiter sounds a little bit more dignified.
Yeah, server implies that maybe you're serving something.
well, it was
that's not
it was basically
Oh.
slavery.
food.
Oh yeah, I was serving that left and right. You want that molten fudge cake?
Dude, I could fucking live off those things.
I will
Yeah.
never forgive FSU for getting rid of Chili's.
Fuck Chili's.
Everybody-
I will never get
Thank
rid
you,
of them for
Tamiera.
getting rid of the skillet cookies and the Cajun chicken pasta and the steak and all of that. I will never forgive them for that. Now I want Chili's.
You're
I
the
want
only
Chili's,
person. I saw Elin came in.
Oh my god.
Wait, no,
Elin?
yeah, Elin came in with his girlfriend. That was a different time though. But not Nathan. God damn it! It was so long ago. I'm trying to remember exactly. It was Stephen George. Stephen
Oh,
George
I know
came.
Stephen.
Yeah,
I love him.
Stephen George came in and he ordered Cajun chicken pasta and he like
Which is
picked it
the
up.
best thing to order at fucking
It's the
Chili's.
best thing
It's
you
fucking
get there.
amazing.
It was funny though because it was one of the most popular things at the time, and I saw him and we talked for a little bit, and he said, "Oh yeah, I got Cajun chicken pasta." 10 minutes later, he sent me a Snapchat of his food and said, "This is shit." And I was like, "Oh
man.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy, but nothing here's good."
Oof.
I never had a bad experience at that I don't know how people say it was terrible. I only
That's
went
the
like
thing. I've
twice,
only
but I
had good
loved
times there.
it. Yeah.
It somehow got the reputation of being really bad, and so less people were going, which meant that we couldn't afford to have, the proper amount of people working, so we were constantly understaffed, which just made us have a worse reputation because food was taking so long, because you were lucky if you had 3 cooks in the kitchen at any given time.
Yeah.
Like, you were lucky if you had 2 at times, honestly. Like, it was
Well, and yours,
such a shit show.
Yours was also on campus, which I think
And
says
college-
something about the quality of food.
And college students don't tip
Yeah.
at all. Like, they'd ask me, "Do you want a table of 10 people?" And I'd say, "Fuck off. No, it's not worth my time because I know they're going to give me $1, and if I serve a table of 4 people, I'm at least going to make something like 12. There's
Yeah.
no point in me taking a 10 top and getting treated like garbage for all that stress."
I always wanted to know this.
Mhm.
Could we tip with Flex Bucks?
Yes.
No way!
I
That's
once-
so cool.
Oh my god.
I never did because
Mhm.
college kids don't tip.
Yeah,
But
obviously.
But
I tipped.
I tip too.
But-
You just
I
said you did it. You can't go back retroactively.
She doesn't know. No one knows. All right.
She
Oh my god, this girl made my night at the end of a shift one night because she ordered. Oh, shut up.
Yeah?
It was at the end of the semester, and her bill was like $22 or something, and she gave me a $30 Flex Bucks tip, and I went to her with the receipt, and I was like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Is this okay? Is this not $3?" And she was like, "No, I'm giving you $30. It's cool. You did a good job." And I was just like, "Thank you so much."
That's like the college kid equivalent of those stories where they leave like $100 bill on the table,
Yeah.
but like shittier.
Flex coming through. But yeah, I think that having shitty kind of dead-end jobs, like especially when you're young and new, you kind of have to do it. It's almost a rite of passage. I mean, it's cool if you do have contacts where you can kind of skip that phase or minimize the length of it, but I think it's okay. Just life is long, but it's also really short, and if you're unhappy with where you're at, it's really scary, but it's completely within your capabilities of saying, "Fuck this situation, I'm going to change it for myself." But that's also coming from a middle-class white male, so there's probably that perspective.
It's also coming from someone who worked a really shitty job, but then like moved up in like the company. What would you say? Like just kind of like switched departments.
Just kind of, yeah. I was news department, but now I'm creative services department.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ooh. Here comes the little confetti. Confetti pops out every time.
Can I give
say it.
advice really quick?
Absolutely, Tamiera.
Don't work in food.
Don't work in food. We talked about
Don't work in
Don't work in
food.
food.
Oh
Don't
my
do it.
god, if you're going to do anything like beginner, just don't work in
Do
food.
retail.
Do retail. Like,
I
if
did-
you
I
want to
did-
work a
oh.
smaller job like that, do
Yes.
retail. For
I did
the love of
retail.
all that is holy. I worked at Zaxby's for like half a year, and every day I wanted to jump into traffic after my shift.
Yeah.
So do not work in food. Do yourself a favor. Like, Hunter was saying that life is short. It's too short to work at Zaxby's.
Well,
So,
yeah, if you can't see yourself moving up in wherever you are, like you said, there's something to be said about like looking for other options, especially in food. Don't move up in food.
just
don't
don't.
do
It's
it.
just,
Yeah.
no. That'll be a whole other podcast
Oh,
thing.
it was.
That'll be a special edition, my experience at Zaxby's, because, oh, do I have some stories, but
Well, that'd be a cool idea because the second one I did was about retail, and me.
if
and
you
my
have a
friends-
food one, please
we could
invite me
totally
back,
have a
because
food
I
one,
have
yeah.
some horror
Why don't you be with
stories.
you guys? Because you've had a couple food jobs and you've had some horror stories, and I just worked retail and loved every second of it.
Oh, how?
4 years at Adventure Island, the theme park.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
That's
That sounds
different.
fun.
Yeah, and then I was a suit for like a year.
The hair flip.
You know, the whatever hair is there.
Whatever's
Some
left.
fuzz flip.
Yeah.
Little peach fuzz.
Peach fuzz flip. At work when I'm not working.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Dude, I'm that same way. I feel like my job is 40% filming stuff and editing, and then like 60. Yeah, that's it. 60%. There's a reason I film commercials. And 60%.
Neither of us are good at math.
Yeah, and 60% me watching YouTube videos waiting for something to happen. Like, it's insane.
What, like render or just?
If it's rendering, or sometimes there's just nothing to do, like no shoots or schedule. I have projects that, I need to be doing, but I'm not filming them for another week. I have nothing to do. Like, 2 weeks ago, it was a straight week of rain in Tallahassee, really bad rain, which meant I had nothing to do because I could do nothing. No projects were moving forward, so I spent a week getting paid money to sit there for 8 hours and just watch, like, movie video essays and stuff. It was awesome.
If you paid attention to the rain in the past 2 weeks, you would have figured out that it only started when Brystin walked outside, and it immediately stopped when Brystin went back indoors.
I don't track your every movement, though.
What? That's weird. You're weird.
I said I don't.
I know, that's
what's
weird.
That's weird that I don't?
Yeah,
Am
I
I
I track
supposed
you,
to?
is that weird?
Mhm.
I thought it was like a consent, like a... No?
How are you tracking my movements?
That's like asking, does Alexa listen to you?
I mean, if you absorb my... Absorb.
Oh my god.
Shut up! If you, like, observe, like, what I do day to day, it's actually really boring.
I
So,
was gonna say, yeah,
like...
no one, if anyone's
have
like
fun.
watching me, no one's having a good time.
No,
One's
it's...
like, he watches a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! For like a 21-year-old kid. This is weird. We'll see if I leave that in.
Yes, highly recommend Cowboy Bebop, and if you want to get your mind just absolutely fucked,
Yeah.
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Is there any particular reason why you would tell people to watch Cowboy Bebop?
Because, are you alluding to the tattoo on my arm that's from the
You
show?
have a tattoo from that show, Hunter?
Yes, I do actually, and this actually came up today because I was at the shoot and the account executive, the person who talks to the clients and stuff, goes on the shoots with you, or is supposed to, but she was actually there, and she's like, "What does your tattoo say?" And it says, "You're gonna carry that weight," which is one of the ending quotes from the show Cowboy Bebop from the final episode. And I was a complete and utter idiot because I didn't listen to a lot of Beatles music growing up, and so many of the quotes from the shows are from music. And she's like, "Oh, a Beatles fan," and I was like, I honestly didn't know that it was a Beatles quote until I was like 20, and I've had it, and I got it when I was 18.
That's not even the best part, though. Where'd you put it, Hunter?
God damn it, I put it on the inside of my upper arm between my bicep and my tricep, and it says you're gonna carry that weight. And after I got it, I looked at it in the mirror. I was like, "Oh man, people are gonna think I'm a gym head douchebag person."
Mm-hmm. And now they know you're a gym head douchebag person.
Yeah.
Can I interject something really funny really quick?
Go for it, yeah.
The first time I went on a shoot with Hunter was at the SLC, and that's the first time I saw his tattoo on his arm, and I'm like, so this is the type of people that I'm gonna be working with in DNP.
Oh, fuck you! I should have just gone like full tilt into it. Just been like, hey, fucking bro. Hey, woman, bro. How you doing?
I'm pretty sure when I asked about that, that's exactly what you did.
What, did I go bro?
I think you did.
Oh, dude, you never go full bro.
But sarcastically.
Like a hat, like a baseball hat just landed on my head and just turned backwards. The sleeves on my shirt started to shrink. I was like, ugh!
You just look like PC Principal from fucking... God, I just saw the episode where he's like trying to go towards a door with a female and he's like, listen, alright, I know that gender laws and everything, I'm supposed to open the door for you, but if you feel empowered enough to open that door yourself, you go right ahead. I don't know how to handle the situation. I fucking died. Dude.
Oh my God.
I couldn't take it seriously.
Dude, okay.
It killed me.
I, in college, did not date, but talked to, for about a month and a half or so, a girl that was like the worst SJW type of person I've ever met, where she straight up, actually, we had an argument because I held the door open for her. Like, no bullshit. I held the door open for her. She was like, what are you doing? And I like didn't know that she was upset. And I was like, what do you mean? I'm holding the door. And she's like, is that because I'm a woman? And I was like, no, I'm doing it because it's the right goddamn thing to do. I hold the door for fucking everybody if I go first and I know someone's behind me. Like, it's just the polite thing to do. I hate it when people open the door enough for them to squeeze through, and even though they know you're right behind them. That's shitty. If nobody's behind me, I still swing the door wide open enough just in case somebody's in my blind spot or something. Mm-hmm. You know, that's just the polite thing to do. And we had a legit argument about that. And it drew... I'm so happy that I do not see that girl anymore and will never see her ever again.
Do you run into any of that kind of stuff? Since you're making, like, commercials?
What do you mean?
Just that type of, like, you have to worry about how you portray or, like, what you show type kind of stuff?
Yes and no, because generally, like, I mean, this is the South, so there's a large white Southern population and everything, so I don't usually have to worry about stuff like that, but there are also clients that very specifically want certain things and everything. Like, I was at a shoot the other day, and we did a take where it was an old white lady who was a teacher talking to a student, and the student was white also, and and then they did a few takes like that, and then the client said, can we have somebody else do it? How about you? And chose the only black person in the room. And then after that shoot was done, she said, you know, I just know that my boss would really want a lot of diversity and stuff just because we have a very diverse student population. It's like, that's good, but I don't know how I feel, because part of me is like, that's definitely singling somebody out, saying they're different from everybody else, but at the same time, it's also good because it's like we're trying to represent as broad a spectrum of people as possible.
Mm-hmm. Like, because from a I get what you're saying. Because from a marketing standpoint, it's a better move because you do show diversity, but like while you're doing it, it just feels weird. It feels you're using them for one particular trait. Yeah.
It feels so like advertising scummy. Like, it was the first time in this job that I actually felt really scummy by using advertising tactics and stuff, just because advertising itself is like inherently so manipulative.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the gig.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm just over here just like, yeah, you want to go to this fucking college? Yeah.
You better be diverse.
I hope you like fucking diversity, man.
Because we got a lot of it.
We got multi-ethnic people, we have gay people, and we say people here because they are people first.
What else would you say? You say we have gays here?
Yeah.
Interesting marketing tag. I mean, I'd get probably a lot of gay people.
That's how you advertise your... Oh my god, that's horrible.
Do you like gay people? Well, we got some for you.
You like the gays? You're gonna love our college.
Are you straight and you're not gay, but you enjoy being around gay people? Come on down. We don't discriminate.
Do you have any type of those problems, like when you're writing for people, or like freelance writing stuff?
I mean, no, I don't. Sorry, I should have verbalized that.
God
but
damn it, Tamiera. I am so sorry.
I should have verbalized that. I'm sorry that I have offended you, Hunter Black. Anyway.
I'm so easily offended.
You're such a bitch. But yeah.
Thank you, Bryce.
Yeah.
No, because my article subjects, unless I do like an opinion piece that's just me writing, my article subjects don't really, they're mainly stuff like how to be a good property manager.
Right, it's like
Where to study abroad.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's stuff like that. You know, I don't really get to talk about diversity and the like.
And, like, I've never had it in, like, a working environment, but I know, for instance, a short film that we just finished writing last night is a sequel to one we did, like, a little while ago, and we have our friend James in it, and James is a black guy. I know. Progressive, right? And so we have a joke in it, and I don't want to give it away because I really like the joke. But it kind of plays on his race, and like he's totally fine with it. He loves it. He thinks it's great, and it's not really offensive in any way. But I feel like when you work with like a writing staff, and like there's different ethnicities and different stuff like that, I feel like it only brings out like the best in it. Like, you don't get like, oh, we have to have this for this' sake. It's like, no, we can talk about this because I'm this, and I say it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, I don't really have a lot of professional experience with that type of stuff.
As a woman of color, I like being the one to suggest that stuff. Like, hey, I'm a woman of color. I want to do this. Because it would be funny.
Yeah.
Like, I like doing that stuff. So.
That's great, yeah. That's how it should
I like
be.
having a good, light-hearted sense of humor about those type of things. Like, I like just calling attention to, I don't know, the stuff that's stupid in, like, a satirical sense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do a lot of satirical pieces ever?
No, but I would really like
just
to.
like,
I would
eyes.
love to.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would make me the happiest clam ever. I've written a couple. I've written a couple.
Like the most adorable metaphor ever.
I've written a couple of satirical articles, and they were the funniest things ever. I think my favorite article that I've written, if we're not getting too off track,
No, go for it.
I think my favorite satirical article I've written was for the FS View. I wrote an article. Oh, darn, I have two, because they're both for April Fool's Day. Every April Fool's, the FS View releases an April Fool's issue full of, like, joke articles.
Yeah.
And the first one was, like, me being bitter and frustrated of not having a place to sit down in Strozier during finals week.
Oh, that's a common one.
So I wrote, like, a joke, like, oh, Strozier's implementing this new policy similar to the football game's point system. So, like, the more you show up during the semester, the more likely you're gonna have a seat during finals week.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
Yeah, and then recently, this past April Fool's Day, I wrote an article about, and it's kind of obviously fake now because they just released Fallout 76, but I wrote a joke article about, like, how Bethesda as a company decided to ditch everything Fallout, like completely banning Fallout, like going door to door collecting everything Fallout from people and just focusing exclusively on Skyrim. Because I just saw a commercial for Skyrim VR and I'm like, this game is 7 years old. When is this going to end?
No, they're really like death gripping.
They're milking it.
Yeah.
It's
As I was playing
Yes,
it
she was
earlier
playing
when you
it.
guys came
We
in.
walked in. She was playing it. Doesn't let you believe she's innocent.
Oh, I also have Fallout 3 over there. Look at that. Anyway,
you gotta play both. You gotta play.
which one do I play first?
Fallout 3.
Fallout 3.
Fallout 3.
Fallout 3, absolutely.
I just
Fallout
know
3
Liam
is-
Neeson's in it.
Liam Neeson's your
Yeah.
dad.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you play any other game?
For like 5
He's
minutes.
my dad in real life, too.
Oh shit.
Ugh.
That explains the woman of color.
Daddy Neeson.
How does that explain me being a woman? Did I miss something?
It was a joke.
Oh.
Because he's very obviously white.
That's
Is he?
why.
He's Irish.
Good God.
You never heard him talk? Like outside movies?
No, I know he's white.
Oh, okay. Ah, yeah, I see.
Ah.
We are oblivious people.
Oh,
How are we in
Wow.
college?
Uh-huh.
Well, actually,
Go back to college.
I'm still in college.
Yeah, you fucking youngster.
You guys are.
Mm-hmm. Cargo
How did we
shorts.
get out of college?
They paid us to leave.
Yeah, actually. We didn't even graduate. Thrasher just took us into his
Oh my
office
God,
and
it-
said, look,
He
guys.
thrashed us.
Stop saying that!
I love it so much. I'm
God.
Thrasher and I'm gonna thrash ya.
Trash dog. That's
Ah.
what we call.
Every time he comes out, it's the Stone Cold Steve Austin like music. So like you just hear the bottle smash, whatever his music is. He just comes out as a little old man waving at everybody.
He's the most soft-spoken person,
He's
though.
so-
I know.
Lil. He's a very little man. Like, he's tall, but he's skinny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
He's
string
just a
bean.
tiny man.
Mm-hmm. He came into AMC one time. I was doing ticket drop, and I looked up, and I saw him, and I was like...
He goes to see movies. Wow.
Yeah, I was like, do I say...
That's
outside.
weird to me.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just thought he lived in Westcott.
I was like, do I say
He lives in the
hi
fountain.
or
He
something?
lives
He
in
just
the
comes down at
fountain.
night.
There's like an invisible staircase. Like, get smart. You just climb down.
If
That's
you
where he
step on one of
lives.
the bricks in front of
It's a
Westcott
secret
Fountain, it
entrance.
opens up,
Exactly.
and he's the overseer.
Like the river Styx.
I was driving on Gaines Street once, and some guy in a BMW cut me off, and I look at it, and I'm like, that's Thrasher, Dead serious.
What
I was
an
like,
ass.
what are you doing? Then I look, I'm like, oh shit, that's Thrasher.
John Thrasher,
John
Thrashin' Trash Dog,
Yeah.
is our president. Is the president of
Mhm.
Florida State, so he's kind of a big deal.
Just a
Thrash
little.
Like
Dog. I like
Poco.
that.
What?
I like Thrash Dog. I'd totally get a t-shirt that said Thrash Dog.
Thrash
on
Dog, yeah.
I just thought of Eric Andre. Like the, oh, I'm saying it.
it.
I'm just gonna try and pull the reins back a little bit.
Okay.
Alright, so rewinding back to John Thrash Dog.
Mm. Do you have somewhere you wanted to go with that? or
No,
was that
I just take that, rewind it back.
Can we say Thrash Dog Millionaire? Because that sounds cool.
Yeah,
I was thinking
that's-
that too. I was like, I don't know why I keep wanting to add millionaire on the end of that.
He deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
The dude's making a decent amount of fucking money.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm. Fucking money.
yeah, not even just regular money. He's making fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Not like that.
We're not talking
We're not
about
talking
sex.
about sex.
Gosh,
We're talking about fucking.
Yeah. There's a difference
There's
between
a huge difference in terms of money.
there's a difference
just-
between sex,
You don't
fucking,
even have to be
and
talking
making
about
love.
sex. Just the emphasis on that word just makes the
Just
money sound
fucking.
really bad.
Like dirty money. Just
Yeah,
fucking
like
money.
not even
Yeah.
necessarily related to sex, just like it's related to something horrible.
Mhm, stinky money.
I really hope he listens to this.
Now I don't want to cut anything just so it's
Mhm.
horrible.
You know,
You're early in your career, don't blow it like
I
that.
know, I can't lose it here.
It's only
Yeah.
episode
You're
7.
episodes.
Wait
I
until
gotta-
like episode
I
30,
gotta pull
100
it
or
back to
something.
graduate. Oh, wait. Wasn't Thrasher at graduation?
Yes.
He's always there.
Did you share any of your opinions about him, Hunter, when
No.
you got to shake his hand?
I shook that dude's hand and I grabbed my degree and I said, I'm fucking leaving.
Was his sand that's sweaty?
His hand?
Yeah, was it when you
He
shook
was
it?
very
was it
dry. I
sweaty?
mean, he's an old dude, so he's already kind of a dry man.
a dryman?
Yeah, a dry
A
man.
dryman?
Is that a slur?
What?
No, it's not a slur.
It is now.
Yeah, it should be. This fucking dryman taking all our
You
jobs.
fucking dry man just throwing water at people. Get out of here.
Well, I don't know. Like people said that. This is like a weird reference, but people said that like when George Bush was touring around, like they'd go to shake his hand, he like didn't have a good handshake.
Mm-hmm.
So people were like, "Oh, I don't know how I feel about George Bush."
That's so dumb. I have such a bad handshake. Like,
Really,
any,
it kind of hurts.
I really?
Well, here, hold on.
I wanna
we'll
shake
do it.
your
Here,
hand.
come here. Like real.
I have such a
Sample.
shitty handshake.
Yeah, that was really bad. I don't know
Yes.
why that was so bad.
I have such a bad hand.
Do you shake
Great to
hands
meet you.
normal?
Okay.
Okay, you shake hands like a normal person,
Yeah.
okay?
Fucking.
I have
I'm
such
just
a
trying to rip your arm off.
I have,
Little
I have such
bit,
a
yeah.
I have such a bad handshake
It's
just
gonna come
because
up like
like
Mr. Potato Head.
exactly it's like I want to shake your hand and like squeeze it firmly just because that's what you do with handshakes and then they squeeze my hand harder and it's like I don't know if
Well,
like
it's
do I
like-
squeeze their hand harder because then that looks like a power play
Show
like
dominance.
I feel like I'm overthinking handshakes
No.
but handshakes are so like important especially when you're dealing with clients and stuff and all of them are old like white southern men and they all have dad hands and they just like grab your dainty little uncalloused hand there and they just make you feel like a boy.
Yeah, so since you guys have both graduated, and you're very aware that I am like a year from graduating,
Mhm.
what's some stuff you would
Give
advise me to say? No,
Mhm.
no, because you guys have varying lengths of like being out of school. So like, what's some stuff that have like worked for you? What's going for you now?
Mhm.
'Cause
Okay, I just
need
wa-
to know.
I just want to start off with like in general and then work my way to jobs. In general, what you are feeling in your final semester, leading up to your final semester and to graduation is completely valid. It's okay to have these feelings. Everybody has these feelings. Like, I was such a mess my last semester. Like, it was horrible. It was great, but it was also horrible at the same time. To put it into perspective how bad my last semester was for me mentally and emotionally, I was 100% convinced over, like, a 2-month period that I had cancer. On 2 separate occasions, I was positive that I had fucking cancer. And then I, like, calmed down and got into a better place. I was like, that was weird. I just immediately thought that was like, I was just getting sick because I was so stressed out because of finals and everything like that, and just like working so much and not getting enough sleep that my body's like, hey, you're gonna have a little cold, and I'm just like, I'm dying. But I
feel that. I do relatively the same thing.
Yeah, like, it was bad, but you're going to eventually look back and you're going to say, why was I ever worried? You're going to figure it out. It's just going to happen. You know, everything's going to be fine. That's not saying, like, oh, you shouldn't be stressing right now, because that's a dumb thing to say. Because, yeah, you should be stressing right now, but at the same time, you can't just stop stressing right now. Like, that's not how emotions work.
Stop stressing right now has never stopped stress right now.
Yeah. Could you, like, stop with the anxiety and just calm down? Or something? God damn. No, yeah, that's not how that stuff works. And job-related stuff, once again, you're gonna figure it out. And like we talked earlier about, like, stepping stone jobs, you're going to have stepping stone jobs. You're not gonna work for the same company your entire life, most likely. And sometimes you're going to have a period of your life, maybe a few years, maybe a few months, where you're working a job that you absolutely hate, but you need to survive, but it might open up opportunities. Like, I'm here in Tallahassee for 3 years because I signed a 3-year contract, but that's not really stressing me out too much, just because I know this is a stepping stone, because I know that I'm, getting experience, I can move on and everything.
You know you're not trapped, and that's a comforting feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And always be open to happy coincidence and positive chaos. And what I mean by that is, when I took my job in news at WCTV, I was planning on signing a 2-year contract when a position opened up for full-time and being a news producer, just because that was the best option available to me at that time, and that was my plan. And then, unexpectedly, the creative services position opened up, and now here I am doing something that I actually enjoy, that's in my field, that I'm getting a lot of good experience for, that will help me a lot in the future, and I'm becoming more confident in myself as a content creator. And that was all through unplanned. That was all through happy coincidence. So don't always expect things to go the way you plan them to, because they're good and bad things are going to happen. Hopefully more good things than bad things. But that's just kind of my 2 cents. So,
well put, Hunter. I like that.
Well put. Beautifully put.
What do you think, Tamiera?
Okay, so overall, I've come to 2 things. The first thing I'd like to say is that, to you, Brystin, to anybody who is listening, the most important thing you need to do, no matter in what aspect, whether it's professional, personal, but let's talk professional, is be kind and understanding towards yourself. That's the first thing I want to put out there, because a lot of you know this already, but this past semester, I barely scraped by. My mental health crashed, and it crashed bad. I was barely functioning, to the minimal degree. It was bad. So that's the biggest thing that I had to, learn this semester, was that I'm used to being deans or presidents list every semester and being like, oh yeah, I'm getting A's and B's on all of these things and everything's great, everything's awesome, because that was just not me this semester. And so it was I felt like I kind of lost sight of who I was as a person. Well, if I'm not this straight A making person, then I must not have much worth as a student or as a content creator or as much of anything.
And that stuff does kind of snowball.
It
once
does
it starts,
snowball.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I'm
Absolutely.
saying, we're all human. The human body is really, really like a machine. Sometimes there are days where it's just going to break down and you just need to do what you can do on that day, that week, that month. So on those in those moments, you just need to be kind to yourself. You can't beat yourself up for not being able to write a 10-page essay or not being able to cram for 24 hours. Like, give yourself a high five and a cookie for just being able to get out of bed and take a shower. You know?
No, absolutely.
Just little things like that. Like, I feel like that's so important. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like that's really important, is just to remember to be kind to yourself and be understanding of yourself. The second thing is, no matter what you do, going off of what Hunter was saying, I wanted to add one more thing to that.
Go for it, yeah.
Like, no matter what you do, make sure what you're doing is something you're proud of. Like, don't, how do I word this? Let me think for a second. Like, don't do something just for, and I feel like I'm kind of contradicting what I said earlier. Take this with a grain of salt. It's like,
the suspense.
Don't do things for a paycheck if they don't line up with your values also, or line up with like what's important to you. Because we were talking earlier about stepping stones and doing what you need to do, but also don't just sell your soul for a paycheck either, or just turn in work that's just absolutely meaningless to you. Because I don't know, work done without soul or heart put into it is, there's not much to it. It's pretty worthless.
Justice League.
Well, people are gonna see it too.
I guess.
Like, people are gonna be, it's gonna be very obvious that, like, you just weren't into it and that you didn't put what you had to put into it. Like,
exactly,
people can
and then
tell.
it's a waste of your time. It's a waste on everybody else's time who checked it out. Like, just do what's worthwhile to you. And I got this laptop. I mean, I got this sticker for my laptop. I don't know why I'm talking backwards today. I got this sticker for my laptop. It's like, be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire.
Ooh.
And it's such a good, meaningful, like, worthwhile thing to think about. Like, search for that stuff that fulfills you, that gives you that, like, that feeds your soul, like that nutrition. Like, not like that junk food stuff that you just kind of get by on. Like, what fulfills you? What makes you, like, get out of bed and say, yeah, I'm gonna go do this today, you know? Like, do something like that. Like, find that thing and hang on to it. And that's all I got.
I like it. I like it. No, it's very nice to hear, and it's kind of like what I was expecting. Not like a dickish way, but it was kind of
not
how
trite.
Yeah, no, it was
pretentious.
It was posh. It was just kind of the stuff that I was like, okay, I hope they tell me that, because like that's the stuff that
Well, now I
want to
come up with a whole other thing, but okay. I'll add like an asterisk once you post this on social media in the comment section.
Put a comment on it.
Be like, because Brystin predicted everything I was going to say, I just want to add this.
It's not at all what I meant.
I am fine with being trite and being predictable, simply because sometimes you just need somebody to tell you these things where you logically understand, I need to hear this right now, and I need somebody to tell it to me because I understand it in my brain right now, but I need somebody to just tell me gently these words for me to actually get it.
Yeah, no, because it's the things that like you want to hear, but they're not like out of the realm of possibility. Like, it's good that you're hearing these things because it like gives you hope, or like makes what's happening right now. It's like, oh, okay, so I don't need to be that scared because people are graduating and doing fine.
Yeah,
exactly.
And life is life, you know. It's like I said earlier, it's short, but it's also very long. So just because you don't really have your shit together right now, just know that everybody else just looks like they have their shit together. Like, one of the scariest parts about growing up for me was looking at my parents and realizing they're just as clueless as I am, and they are human beings too, and they are capable of doing the wrong thing and fucking up, and that really scared me. But at the same time, it also made me feel a lot better because it made me go, that makes me know that when I fuck up, everybody's fucking up.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's a fuck up. It's cool. But, you know, it's not about how many times you fuck up. It's about how much you get back in there and then fuck some more.
Yeah, we're calling it.